game time. The cameras are ready. The headset is on. Without further delay, here's Mike Mason.
All right, welcome back to Mickelson Park. We're getting ready for game number 2. Game 1 went to the Spartans by the final score of 5-1. The Knights would get on the board there in the top half of the 7th inning, and they would show a little bit of life, but they weren't able to complete the rally, and they would fall short 5-1. We're looking at low 60s, upper 50s here for game number 2. We could see as low as 58 degrees with sunset set for 8:55 p.m. This game's going to get started before 7. I would imagine it will be out of here before that sunset scheduled time, but we'll see. Stranger things have happened. North wind at 18 makes it feel like 58 degrees with 29% humidity here. And the hour-by-hour forecast has us at 61 now, 60 at 7 p.m. and 58 in the 8 p.m. hour under a partly sunny sky, while 6 and 7 p.m. hours are under a sunny sky here in North Fargo at Mickelson Park. We're closer and closer. We'll skip our first commercial break here and take a look at and we'll skip over our on-the-map stats, too. We'll take a look at the team profiles. Grand Forks Central, after the loss in the first game, falls to 4-12 and 3-7 on the road, 2-7 against EDC opponents. They've scored 67. Their opponents have scored 181 on them. While for the Fargo North Spartans, they improved to 11-12, 6-5 at home, and 8-4 in EDC play. And they have scored 151 runs, and their opponents have scored 151 runs. So far in the season now, heading into Game 2 of the doubleheader here against the Knights. We'll take a timeout here. It looks like we'll have a little bit of time. And then when we come back, we'll have your starting lineups. We will not have a national anthem. And then the first pitch around the corner here on the ND Sports Channel. Be right back.
Paper tickets. Rookie mistake. Game Time is the fastest way to buy tickets to live events with your friends. You can buy the perfect seats in seconds, and tickets are delivered directly to your phone, so you always have them with you. Download Game Time free on the App Store, and you'll instantly see a curated list of the best upcoming events in your area. Game Time sorts through thousands of available seats on the market and presents you with only the 50 best values. One of the best things about Game Time is you can get tickets at last-minute prices even after the game starts. Download Game Time free on the App Store today.
Did you miss any or all of this live game broadcast? Not to worry. Over 90% of the games streamed on the ND Sports Channel are available on demand 24/7 under Game Rewind on our website, so you can watch the game anytime. You can also take advantage of the DVR feature and watch a delayed version of this live broadcast, and at any time return to live action simply by clicking the live button. Now you don't have to miss your son's huge game-winning goal or your daughter's set-sealing ace serve. ND Sports Channel, ND Sports Online.
Central and the home team, the Fargo North Spartans. We'll go around the field here and introduce the Spartans. We'll do the same for the Knights in the bottom of the inning. The right fielder, Alexa Hammer, will be leading off for the Spartans. Playing left field and batting second is Ellie Wiest, the designated player. Batting third is Ava Kaltbrenner. Clean up and playing first base is Sam Martin. The catcher will be batting fifth, Alex Hagee. Playing center field and batting sixth is Greta Rader. The second baseman, Sophie Cody, will be batting seventh. Batting eighth and playing third base for this game is Brianna Beach. And pitching this game will be Gabby Olick. Shortstop, flex player for this game is Sophie Ochoa. Reserves for this game for the Spartans is Caitlin Armand, Caitlin DeClary, and Sammy Sanford. Leading off for the Knights, the shortstop, number 2, Paige Carlson.
All right, there you go. You got your lineups for Fargo North here, and now Paige Carlson will step up to the plate here as the Spartans will huddle around the circle for one final chit-chat. Paige Carlson, Courtney Giroux, Taya Johnson, batters 1, 2, and 3. Batting fourth will be Haley Giroux. Batting fifth will be the starting pitcher, Reagan Fontaine. Batting sixth will be the senior first baseman, Bailey Jagger. Batting seventh will be McKenna Erickson. Batting eighth will be Molly McEnroe. And batting ninth will be Ashley Giroux for the Grand Forks Central Knights. So a couple of new players here in game number 2. We'll get you familiar with them here in the first inning or so, as the first pitch is going to come across at 6:49 p.m. for strike one to Paige Carlson.
Is behind the plate, and Chad Mears is up in the field.
So Gabby Olick, your starting pitcher once again here for the Fargo North Spartans. That one's going to be popped up. Shallow center, right where the sand meets the grass, just a little bit in front of the grass, where Sophie Ochoa will make the grab. So that's a pop out for out number 1 of the inning, and now that'll bring up Courtney Giroux. Courtney Giroux was 1 for 2 in the last game against the Spartans. Now we'll see if she can duplicate or better that performance here in the second game against the Spartans. As we need to go to our live camera here, we apologize for that. Camera guy can get it there and maybe get it changed to the right score of 0-0. Our person is awesome. Now we line foul down the third base line there. There we go. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. And the 1-1 pitch comes in a little bit low for a ball. 2-1 the count. That one's going to be going out into center field, and it will drop. Nobody can get there. And that's good for a single there for Courtney Giroux. So now she's 1 for 1, 2 for 3 in the 2 games combined. That brings up Taya Johnson. Now I want to be fouled away here, and now allow the runner to advance to second. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on second is Courtney Giroux. Taya Johnson is the batter here, and we'll fix our crowd mic here after the in between the top of the first and the bottom of the first. That one's hit deep left field. It was a nice hit, but it drifted foul, and now going to the books is strike number 2. And that one's going to left field and foul as well, all the way into the other field there. You may have saw it. We may have gotten the camera over there quick enough. 1-2, 10 pitches for Olick, 7 strikes, 3 balls so far here in this contest. And that pitch will float up for a ball. And the 2-2 is up high for a ball, and that's a full count at 3-2 now. 7 strikes, 5 balls, 3 minutes into the ball game, and 12 pitches so far here for Gabby Olick. And the payoff pitch is up high for a ball, and that'll walk Taya Johnson up to first. Courtney Giroux on second, and now Haley Giroux will be the batter. Sam Martin, the first baseman, the senior for Fargo North. And then you got the senior Sophie Cody at second, the junior Sophie Ochoa at shortstop, and Brianna Beach, the senior in third base, excuse me. Alex Agee, the junior behind the plate catching. Gabby Olick, the junior pitching. The sophomore Ellie Wieston left, the junior Alexa Hammer, right, and Greta Rader, the senior, in straightaway center field. Once again, the batter is Haley Giroux, and she faces a count of no balls and 1 strike. She was 0 for 1 in the last game. And let's see here, coming in, Larissa Contreras will be the courtesy runner on first for Taya Johnson. Once again, Haley Giroux, the batter, an 0-1 count. And Olick will wind up and deliver the pitch, and Giroux will fire that one foul again and out of play. Seen a lot of pitches fouled that direction here for the Knights. A low pitch for a ball, and it should be 1-2. Yep, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 9 strikes on 16 pitches. Here's pitch 17, swing and a miss, and a strikeout for Haley Drew. That will bring up Reagan Fontaine, the pitcher. Two away here in the top half of the first inning. If Fontaine can get on base, we'll see Bailey Jagger, the senior. Fontaine is a sophomore for the Knights, and she'll face pitch 18 from Gabby Olick 5 minutes into the game. Runners on first and second. Larissa Contreras on first and Courtney Giroux on second. The pitch comes outside edge for a strike, 0-1. And another outside edge pitch for strike 2. Back-to-back pitches in generally the same spot. And an 0-2 count as a result to the pitcher, Reagan Fontaine. That pitch left the hand of Gabby Olick, and Courtney Giroux will advance to third on what we'll put into the books as a wild pitch, and then that'll put Contreras up on second on that same wild pitch, and that'll make the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 2 runners in scoring position here. And that pitch will come in low, and that'll make the count even at 2-2. So if Fontaine can get a base hit here, it's a good possibility the Knights could go up 2-0. Inside, ball 3. Then again, Olick could load the bases here. She doesn't throw a strike on this next pitch. I'd load it for the senior Bailey Jagger, who's on deck. That's ball 4, and Fontaine's on base with a walk. And that brings up Bailey Jagger. Had 1 hit into deep left center her last time at the plate. Her only time at the plate in the last game. And the windup. And the pitch comes in for a strike. Nice job there by Gabby Olick. And it's 0-1 to Bailey Jagger. Once again, at the end of this inning here, we'll go down and get that mic working. The batteries died in it, so we have batteries on standby here, and we'll get those in ASAP. Fouled away for strike 2. 7 minutes into the ball game. 25 pitches for Olick now. 14 strikes and 11 balls. Oh, 2 the count to Bailey Jagger with the bases loaded here. Great opportunity for the Knights. Unfortunately, they have 2 outs, so they have to get a nice hit here into the outfield to get 1 or 2 of those runs in. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Jagger. 8 minutes into the ball game. Reagan Fontaine, the runner on first. Larissa Contreras, the runner on second. Courtney Giroux, the runner on third. That'll be grounded past Brianna Beach, and that will score 1 for the Knights. That will score Courtney Giroux, and it'll also score Contreras from second, rounding third, and put Reagan Fontaine up on second on a 2-run RBI infield single for Bailey Jagger. McKenna Erickson, the senior, with 2 away, and now her team leads 2-0. Pops that one into left field, and rounding third is Fontaine, and the throw will not come home, and the Knights are up 3-0. That's an RBI single that pushes Jagger up to second for McKenna Erickson out into left field, and that'll bring up the next batter here, and that next batter will be Molly McEnroe. So 3-0 Knights, and that one goes into the gap in left center. Rounding third is Bailey Jagger, and it's 4-0 Grand Forks Central, and coming into third is McKenna Erickson. And the throw is not in time, and you have a RBI double for Molly McEnroe now. And that advances Erickson to third and scores the other runner to make it 4-0, and now Coach is going to come out, take a look at the pitching circle here. Let's see here. The Larimore Polar Bears will fall to the Grafton Spoilers in high school softball. That was a play-in game. They would fall 13-3. So the Polar Bears softball season has come to an end. And as soon as we get some other scores, we'll bring that into you as well. The Washburn Cardinals defeat Central McLean 9-2 in high school softball. That's another score. And let's see here, Jaguars are taking on the Kindred Richland Vikings. No score on that one yet, but if we get a score on that one, we'll pass it along to you. 2 balls, no strikes to Ashley Drew, the freshman for the Knights. And now there's a strike, swing and a miss. Once again, it's 4-0 in favor of Grand Forks Central, 2 away. They've scored all 4 of those runs with 2 outs here in the top half of the first. McKenna Erickson, the runner on third. Molly McEnroe, the runner on second. And the batter once again is Ashley Giroux. And if Giroux can get on base, it'll be Paige Carlson on deck. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. And that'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs and 2 runners on. $11 minutes into the ball game here. We're still in the top of the first. Until now, when Olick will send the strikeout looking down the middle. And 4 runs on 4 hits, no Spartan errors, and 2 left on base. Fargo North up to bat. Took 12 minutes to play the top half of the first. We'll see Alexa Hamry, Ellie Wiest, and Ava Kalbrenner, your first 3 batters for the Spartans, when we return after this on the ND Sports Channel. All right, Bismarck Century, a Class A score for you, defeats Watford City 17-0. Century had 3 home runs in that game against Watford City. That'll be lined into right field here. That'll be fair. And rounding first, heading into second, the hammering, she'll put on the brakes there for a double. And that'll bring up Ellie Wiest.
Now batting the left fielder, number 11, Ellie Wiest.
Once again, if you're just joining us here, Grand Forks Central scored 4 runs on 4 hits and no Spartan errors and 2 left on base in the top half of the first. And right now, Fargo North has 1 hit on their first batter who got on with a leadoff double. And here's Ellie Wiest, and now pitch will float outside for a ball. Ellie Wiest has a couple hits to left center field, and all everything else either infield singles, reach base on an error, ground out, or pop-ups. 1-0, now make it 1-1. That pitch will float away high and inside for another ball. 2-1 the count now to Ellie Wiest. Ava Kalbrenner on deck. Nobody out. Runner on second is Alexa Hamry. Might see Sam Martin ascending as well. Right now it's a 2 balls, 1 strike count. And the pitch, that will be strike 2 maybe? No, I guess not. 3 balls and a strike. I thought Weiss probably pulled the bat over the plate there for a swing, but they're saying no. 3 balls and a strike as a result. Hamry, the runner on second, the 3-1 delivery. Swing and a miss there, and it's a full count. 3-2, throw to third, not in time. Hamry gets credit for the steal at third.
Hey, here we go. Just see a poke now. Just see a poke. Protect, Nick.
Full count now. Runner on third is Hamry, nobody out. And Weiss will ground that one right over to Courtney Drew, and she'll flip it to Jagger for the out. That'll score Hamry on the RBI ground out. And puts the Spartans on the board. It's 4-1. That brings up Ava Kalbrenner with Sam Martin on deck. We'll see Sam Martin for sure now that the bases are empty. Kalbrenner, left field, left field, left field, left field, left field, left field. If you didn't get the hint, she likes to get the balls out to left field. She does have one to right center, though, and a bunch of pop-outs on the infield here. 1 ball, no strike now to Kalbrenner. Reagan Fontaine, the pitcher, by the way. Did that one come across? No, looked a little bit low. 2 balls, no strikes. Once again, the sophomore, Reagan Fontaine, your starting pitcher here for the Grand Forks Central Knights. And then you have Taya Johnson, the sophomore, behind the plate catching. As that pitch will come across for a strike, 2-1. At first base is the senior Bailey Jagger. At second is the senior Courtney Giroux. At shortstop is the sophomore Paige Carlson. That one's going to be hit up high, left center field, and making the grab on the run is Haley Giroux out in center field. Nice play there to get Kalbrenner out, and that's 2 away and brings up Sam Martin.
14, Sam Martin.
Two away. Sam Martin, left field and right field. Avoids center field most of the time. Probably a little leniency towards left field. Pitch will come outside for a ball, 2-0. Grounded, 2-hopper into the glove of Erickson. Erickson across the diamond, cannot get it there. Sam Martin's on with an error. There'll be a throwing error, charged to the third baseman.
Brings up the catcher, number 5, Alex Agee.
That brings up Alex Agee, a junior. Has 1 home run this year. It came against the Moorhead Spuds back on what seemed like an eternity ago. It was early April, I think April 2nd or 4th or something like that. And this one will be grounded right in the glove of Paige Carlson, and she'll fire it over to Jagger for the 6-3 ground out. So quick at bat there for Alex Agee, and a quick inning for the Spartans as well. They do get 1 across the plate. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 Grand Forks Central error, and 1 left on base. 19 minutes into the game, Paige Carlson will face pitch 35 from Gabby Olick right after this on the ND Sports Channel.
Paper tickets. Rookie mistake. Game Time is the fastest way to buy tickets to live events with your friends. You can buy the perfect seats in seconds, and tickets are delivered directly to your phone, so you always have them with you. Download Game Time free on the App Store, and you'll instantly see a curated list of the best upcoming events in your area. Game Time sorts through thousands of available seats on the market and presents you with only the 50 best values. One of the best things about Game Time is you can get tickets at last-minute prices even after the game starts. Download Game Time free on the App Store today.
Leading off for the Knights, the shortstop, number 2, Paige Carlson.
A baseball score for you here. Grand Forks Red River defeats Fargo Davies 5-4. All 5 runs scored off home runs for the Rough Riders. Parker Manette with two home runs, and then not sure how to pronounce the name of the other player who got the home run. But Manette, on his 2 home runs, he won the game in the bottom of the 7th on a home run to give the Rough Riders a win there over Fargo Davies 5-4. Right now, Fargo Davies is playing Grand Forks Central. If we get scores on that one, we will pass that along to you, as well as any other softball or baseball scores that come our way. We'll pass them along to you. 0-1 the count now. The batter once again is Paige Carlson. 0 for 1 with a fly out, and that one's going to left field, and that one's going to roll all the way to the fence. And Carlson's going to go into second, and she's going to try for 3. Here's the play at the plate. Safe. It's a triple for Paige Carlson down into deep left. And that brings up Courtney Giroux.
For the Knights, the second baseman, number 15, Courtney Giroux.
I was waiting for some reaction from the Fargo North bench there, but they didn't give any, so they must have agreed with it there. Sun's in my way, so I couldn't really see what happened either way. Sun likes to blare down that third base line about this time of day, so as it begins to set. Pitch misses for a ball. Courtney Giroux 1 for 1 with a single in right center in this game here. She was 1 for 2 in the last game. And this one's going to go to left center, and that will score Paige Carlson from third on an RBI single for Courtney Giroux. And it's 5-1 now in favor of Grand Forks Central, which happened to be the score of the last game, but only was in favor of Fargo North. It was a nice hit by Courtney Giroux out into the gap in left center there to score the run. And now we'll see Taya Johnson, who has walked her last time at the plate in game number 2 here. She faces pitch 39, and that comes across for a ball. Now pitch 40 from Gabby Olick. And that pitch is going to go off the barrel of the bat, skimmed off it like a rock skipped on water. 1 ball, 1 strike as a result. Once again, runner on first is Courtney Giroux, and here's the pitch. Up high for a ball, and 2-1 the count now to Taya Johnson. Once again, Taya Johnson was walked her last time at the plate. Now she has a 2 ball, 1 strike count this time around. Haley Giroux will be the batter on deck. Johnson, foul. That was a nice hit too, but it just dropped on the left side of the line out in left field, and she'll have to come back and do that one over again, only this time with a 2-2 count. And the 2-2. That one will be grounded out into left field. That's good for a single, and that'll advance Courtney Giroux up to second, bring up Haley Giroux. And now a bad throw here will advance the runners another base. So Taya Johnson on with a single to left, and then each runner advances 60 feet on an error.
Brings up the center fielder, number 1, Haley Giroux.
Now we have a courtesy runner for Taya Johnson at second. That's going to be Larissa
Coming in
Contreras.
the courtesy run is Larissa Contreras.
So once again, the batter's Haley Giroux, 0 for 1, strikeout swinging, nobody out, top of the second here, and they lead 5-1 with 2 runners in scoring position. 24 minutes into the ball game. It took 12 minutes to play the top of the first. I forgot to take a look at the time on the bottom half of that first inning, but now we're 24 minutes into the game. 1-1 the count. Swung on, batted, that one's into left field. That will score Giroux from third, and they will send Contreras from second around third, and that's 2 more runs, and the Knights will crack this one open. It's 7-1. A 2-run RBI single for Haley Giroux. I'll bring up the pitcher, Reagan Fontaine. Looks like we're going to have a change here.
Pitcher number 8, Reagan Fontaine.
So Kaylee McCleary, I think that's McCleary. She's coming in to pitch now for Gabby Olick. Olick will finish with 44 pitches.
It'll be number 20, Kaylee McCleary.
27 strikes and 17 balls will be the count for Gabby Olick as she'll exit here in the top of the second, and that'll bring in Kaylee McCleary. She'll take some warm-up tosses, and we'll take a timeout so she can warm up. We'll bring back. It's 7-1, nobody out, top of the second. Runner on first is Haley Giroux, and the batter's Reagan Fontaine. 0 for 0 with a walk when we return after this on the ND Sports Channel.
Now batter, Reagan Fontaine.
All right, so it's a pitcher versus pitcher battle. And Reagan Fontaine won the first battle against Gabby Olick, and now it's the first of matchup between McCleary and Fontaine. And McCleary's first pitch is a strike. Once again, the runner on first for the Knights is Haley Giroux, the sophomore. And that one will be batted. Two-hopper into the glove of Ochoa. Throw to second, now the throw to first. Not in time at first, but they did get Giroux out at second. And Fontaine's on with a single.
Brings up the first baseman, number 13, Bailey Jagger.
Bailey Jagger 1 for 1 with a single down the third base line her last time out the plate. 7-1 here. 4 in the top of the first and 3 in the top of the second so far. Knights have 7 runs on 9 hits, 1 Fargo North error, and 2 left on base so far here. 28 minutes into the ball game. That's another liner down the third base line. They're saying it's foul. I thought it went on the other side of the third base bag, but I guess not. So we'll go with a strike on a fouled away pitch, and I'll make the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Fontaine, the runner on first. Another final comes in. West Fargo defeats Devils Lake in 5 innings by a score of 10-0. Two balls and a strike now to Bailey Jagger, who's 1 for 1 with a single, and she will be, that's going to be a throwing error on Ochoa. So Jagger's on with a single and advanced to second on the error. And that error will be charged to the shortstop, Ochoa.
Brings up the third baseman, number 17, McKenna Erickson.
Bailey Jagger on second, Reagan Fontaine on third, 1 out, and McKenna Erickson 1 for 1 with a single. That pitch comes down the middle for a strike from McCleary, 0-1. 30 minutes into the ball game, McCleary 7 pitches, 5 strikes, 2 balls. That one is going to be foul. Oh, 2 as a result. 1 away. On deck is Molly McEnroe. That one's going to be popped up center field. Then it's going to drop. And coming in is Reagan Fontaine from third to make it 8-1. Bailey Jagger will stay on second, and McKenna Erickson's on with an RBI single. So now you have runners on first and second.
Fielder, number 5, Molly McEnroe.
Molly McEnroe steps up, batter number 8 in the lineup here for the Knights, who lead 8-1. That'll be a grounder that rolls foul down the third baseline for a strike. Well, if the Knights keep pouring in the runs, we could be out of here early tonight, folks. We'll see what happens, though. That one kind of piece to the bat. Goes in the books as a fouled away pitch. 0-2. And the windup from McCleary. Did it catch the edge? It did not. A little high, apparently. Maybe a little bit on the inside of the plate. 1-2. That one, I guess, is also a ball. 2-2. Kind of looked like a strike to me, but we'll go with the ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 runners on, 1 out. Jagger on second, and Erickson on first, and now a full count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. To the batter, Molly McEnroe with Ashley Drew on deck. And that one's going to be popped up over the head of Ochoa, backpedaling, and did she make the grab? She did. Now the throw at the second and a double play. So McEnroe bats into a double play, and the Knights or the Spartans will get out of this inning, allowing 4 from the Knights. They scored 4 in the first, 4 in the second. Through 1.5 innings of play, Grand Forks Central Knights, 8 runs on 11 hits, 2 Fargo North errors, and 2 left on base. And Fargo North, 1 run on 1 hit and 1 Knights error and 1 left on base. 32 minutes into the game, the next batter will be Molly, or no, check that. It'll be the Fargo North Spartans. We'll get it straight when we come back after this on the ND Sports Channel.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
All right, welcome back. Bottom of the second inning, it's Greta Rader. We'll also see Sophie Cody and Brianna Beach. As batters 6, 7, and 8 are scheduled for the bottom of the second here. Rader first at bat in this game here, and the first pitch she'll come across for a ball 1. 34 minutes into the ball game. Fontaine on 15 pitches, 8 balls and 7 strikes. Once again, around the bases for the Knights. Bailey Jagger at first, Courtney Drew at second, Paige Carlson to shortstop, McKenna Erickson at third, Taya Johnson behind the plate, catching a strike from Reagan Fontaine, 1-1. In the outfield, Molly McEnroe in right, Ashley Drew in left, and Haley Drew in center. That one's going to be cracked right into the glove of Paige Carlson, and consider that a line drive out for Greta Rader, and that'll bring up Sophie Cody.
Brings up the second baseman, number 8, Sophie Cody.
Baseball score, top of the third, nobody out. Bismarck Century leads Mandan 7-0. That's going to be a 6-3 ground out from Sophie Cody on the ground out to Paige Carlson. That's short. I bring up Brianna Beach.
Now batting for the Spartans, number 19, Brianna Beach.
And that put Kaylee McCleary on deck. 2 out though, so Beach will have to get on base if we're going to see McCleary at bat next. Pitch, swing and a miss. It floated outside. She took a chance at it and didn't quite make the connection. 0-1. Once again, an 8-1 lead here for the Knights. 4 in the first, 4 in the second, as that one's fouled away for strike 2. Pitch 21 coming up on 20 pitches, 12 strikes, 8 balls for Reagan Fontaine. That pitch will float outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. No runners on, and an 8-1 lead for the Knights. That one comes up a little bit high. I'll even up the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 22 pitches for Fontaine. 12 of them have been strikes. Outside, full count, 3-2. That one right into the glove of Paige Carlson. Didn't have to jump up to grab that one. She just had to stretch a little bit and made the grab, and that ends the inning as Brianna Beach will pop out to Paige Carlson at short. And that brings up Ashley Drew, Paige Carlson, and Courtney Drew. Batters 9, 1, and 2 for the Knights. Kaylee McCleary will throw pitch 16 on 15 pitches, 10 strikes, and 5 balls. And Ashley Drew up next when we return after this on the ND Sports Channel.
Top of the third for Grand Forks Central, the shortstop. Number 2, Paige Carlson.
All right, Paige Carlson will lead things off. Another finals come in.
Number 7, Ashley Drew.
Apologize for that. Another final has come in. West Fargo defeats Devils Lake 10-0 in Game 1 in 5 innings of a doubleheader. And then they defeat them in Game 2 in 5 innings with a score of 19-1. So the Packers picking up 2 wins over the Firebirds. Once again, Ashley Drew, the batter. 1 ball, no strike now to Drew, who's 0 for 1. Struck out looking, fouls that one away, evens up the count at 1-1. We'll see Paige Carlson. We'll see Courtney Drew this inning as well. McCleary, 17 pitches. 11 of them have been strikes. We're 40 minutes into the ball game, top of the third. And an 8-1 lead for the Knights as the pitch floats high to the outside for another ball, 2-1. So apparently there's an extra strike in there. And now they'll bring up Paige Carlson. 1 for 2. Fly out to the shortstop Ochoa, and then she tripled out into deep left her last time at the plate. That one comes in for a strike, 0-1. Congratulations goes out to the Heart River Cougars. They're the Southwest Sub-Regional Champions with a 3-0 win over the Velva Animus Drake Aggies. That's a high school softball score for you. So once again, Heart River Cougars, 3-0 win over Velva Drake Animus.
Courtney Giroux.
And that makes the Cougars the Southwest Sub-Regional Champions. Once again, a lot of the Class B softball teams are now into the first game of the postseason. It's mostly play-ins or the final game of the regular season right now. And Class A is about to wrap up this week, early part of next week as well. Inside for a ball, and I believe it's 2-0 or 2-1 to Carlson. Is that no? Check that. It's Courtney Giroux, 2-0. Drew will ground that one, foul. 2 balls and a strike. Courtney Drew 2 for 2 with 2 singles, 1 to right center, 1 to left center in that order on her 2 at-bats here in this contest so far. Now she fouls it away, and she'll come back into the batter's box and face the 2 balls, 1 strike count from McClary, and here it comes. And she'll ground that one, hopper into the glove of Brianna Beach. She'll fire it across to Sam Martin for the 5-3 ground down. That'll bring out the Spartans.
Top of the third for the Knights. No runs and no hits, no Spartan errors, and no runners left on base. Heading into the bottom of the third inning, Grand Forks Central leads 8-1. Fast pitch EDC score final. Second game of the doubleheader, West Fargo 19, Devils Lake 1.
All right, it's number 20, Kaylee McCleary, the batter. Takes over the number 9 spot when she came in to relieve Gabby Olick from her pitching responsibilities back in the second inning. Pitch will float up high, and now that's a strike, I guess. So 0-2 now to Kaylee McCleary. It seemed a little high and outside, but we'll go with 0-2. Inside and the 0-2 pitch is a one-hopper right back to Fontaine. She'll pick it up, turn around, fire to Jager for the 1-3 ground out. That brings up Alexa Hamring.
Brings up the right fielder, Alexa Hamring.
I got a home from Wichita,
Henry's 1 for 1. She doubled down the first base line. Just snuck it inside the line there last time she was at the plate. 45 minutes into the ball game, 27 pitches for Reagan Fontaine. Now 16 of them have been strikes. It's an 8-1 lead for the Knights here. 1 away in the bottom of the third. And Hamry will pop that one right over the jumping Paige Carlson into shallow left center for a single. Nice hit there by Hamry, and a nice attempt there by Paige Carlson to snag that out of the air, but
The left fielder, number 11.
couldn't quite get the job done. And now Ellie Wiest, 0 for 1. Ground out on a direct ground out to Bailey Jagger at first last time she stepped up to the plate here. Ellie Wiest is known to switch sides of the batter's box here, depending on what the count is. Let's see if she does that this time. She'll start on the right-hand side of the batter's box. Now the throw will come up as Hamry steals second. 1-0 to Ellie Wiest. So one ball, no strike to Ellie Wiest. Starting on the right-hand side batter's box. We'll see if she moves over after this pitch here. 2-0 and another stolen base, and now they're going to come home on the throwing error, and the Spartans get one more. It's 8-2. So Henry gets credit for the stolen base on that third, and then she advances home on an error. And Ellie Wiest now, 2 balls and no strikes. And that one comes up high for a ball. 3-0. That one will come in as a strike. 3-1 now to Wiest. She'll stay on the right-hand side of the batter's box. And that one comes low, and Wiest will walk. So she did not reach the 2-strike count. So she'll stay on the same side, and now we'll see Ava Kalbrenner.
Now batting the designated player, number 10, Ava Kalbrenner.
0 for 1 with a fly out to left center to Haley Drew, her last time at the plate. And here's the pitch. Up high, swing and a miss, strike 1. Probably a pitch she didn't want to swing at, but she did and paid the price. 0-1. Ellie Wiest, the runner on first once again. The pitcher is Reagan Fontaine for the Knights. Catching is Taya Johnson. Jagger at first, Courtney Drew at second, Carlson the shortstop, and McKenna Erickson at third. And they got the out at second. Ellie Wiest is out after Courtney Drew almost mishandled that ball.
Now batting the first baseman, Sam
So
Martin.
Kalbrenner's on with a fielder's choice. That brings up Sam Martin. So once again, Ava Kalbrenner, the runner on first. Now Sam Martin, the batter. Martin, line drive into the glove of Carlson at short for to end the inning. So we'll see Taya Johnson, Haley Drew, and Reagan Fontaine. Batters 3, 4, and 5 for the Knights. They lead 8-2 as we head into the top of the fourth through 3 innings of play. Grand Forks Central, 8 runs on 11 hits, 2 Spartan errors, and 3 left on base. For Fargo North, 2 runs on 2 hits, 2 Knights errors, and 2 left on base. Time of the game, 49 minutes. Taya Johnson up to bat, 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. Face pitch 28 from Kaylee McCleary, who has 18 strikes and 9 balls on 27 pitches. When we return after this on the Andy Sports Channel. All right, Taya Johnson, the batter here for the Knights. They lead 8-2, and Johnson will foul that one down the third base line for a strike. She's 1 for 1 with a walk and a single so far in this second contest of the day between the Knights and the Spartans. Baseball update for you. Top of the fourth, it remains 7-0 Century over Mandan. One ball, one strike now. And Johnson, I think she caught a piece of that one, but it's going to go into the books as a regular strike. 1-2, 30 pitches now, 20 strikes, 10 balls from McClary. That one going to the dirt for ball 2. That evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Minot High, in a game that started on April 30th and finished today, they would defeat Williston 17-16. And then they knock off Minot in game 2 of that doubleheader in 5 innings, 10-0. And another softball score here for you. The Moorhead Spuds defeat the Fargo South Bruins by the score of 13-1. Fargo South was eliminated yesterday from EDC tournament action when Fargo Davies defeated Grand Forks Central, a game that the Knights had led earlier in that game. I believe the score is 3-1 in either the third or fourth inning, but then the Eagles came back and won that one 5-3, which would put an end to Fargo South postseason hopes. And now the Bruins fall to Moorhead today, 13-1. And that one's going to be popped up and foul. That's Haley Giroux, the batter, I believe. Nope, check that, Reagan Fontaine. Drew reached first via hit by a pitch, and now Reagan Fontaine faces a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. That one's going to be popped up, going in the center field, and Greta Rader will make the grab.
Brings up the first baseman, number 13, Bailey Jagger.
Larissa Contreras is the courtesy runner for Taya Johnson on second, as she scrambles back to make sure that she doesn't get out like how the last inning ended for the Knights. Nice hit. That one's going back, and that one is all the way to the fence. A little more juice on it, and it would have been a 3-run homer, but Larissa Contreras will score from second to make it 9-2. That'll push Haley Drew up onto third on an RBI double for Reagan Fontaine out into deep left center field.
Now batting for the Knights, the third baseman, number 17, McKenna Erickson. Right fielder, number 5, Molly McEnroe.
Oh, he fouled away as it hits the roof of the press box pretty impressively. Okay, so we had to rewind in our stat software here and correct an error we had. It was actually Bailey Jagger with the RBI double to deep left. A couple batters before there got out and somehow snuck them up on base. So A baseball score for you. Let's see here. Cheyenne defeats Shanley 10-0. And Oster on the hill for the Mustangs has threw a perfect game, 15 up and 15 down. Pretty impressive there. Mustangs end the regular season with a record of 7-3 against their EDC opponents. That'll be a bunt down the first base line that rolls foul. So let's see here.
Good work, you're on it. Let's go.
That will score a run as it's going to be an RBI single to shallow right field. That's Ashley Giroux. That scores Reagan Fontaine from third. A soccer update for you. Fargo Davies leads, or no, West Fargo leads Fargo Davies 1-0 in girls soccer. So an RBI single to shallow right will score Fontaine from third, advance the other runner 60 feet. And now that one's popped up and it will go foul and drop for a strike. It's Paige Carlson, the batter, I believe. Yep. 1 for 3, fly out, triple, and a strikeout swinging. 10-2 here with 2 away in the top of the fourth, and the base is loaded for the Knights. Jagger, the runner on third. Erickson, the runner on second. Ashley Giroux, the runner on first. That one, just barely went by the chin of Giroux out into right field, scoring Jagger from third to make it 11-2. On another RBI single by Paige Carlson, that advances McKenna Erickson over to third and Ashley Giroux up to second. At halftime, Fargo North and the Red River Rough Riders in girls soccer are tied at 0 at halftime in that soccer score that just came in. So once it gets 11-2, and now it's mishandled there by the third baseman, Brianna Beach. So Giroux will reach base on an error, and that will score
Catcher number 3,
McKenna Erickson from third on that same error. So Ashley Giroux on third, Paige Carlson on second, Courtney Giroux on first, and Taya Johnson 2 for 2 with a walk, a single, and a single. Both the singles to left field is up to bat right now with 2 away in the top of the fourth, and it's a 12-2 lead right now for Grand Forks Central. Swing and a miss for a strike. 0-2 the count. Strike one was, that's 51 pitches now, 35 strikes and 16 balls from McCleary. And that'll be grounded foul down the third base line and remain 0-2. Once again, bases loaded. Ashley Giroux on third, Paige Carlson on second, Courtney Giroux on first, Taya Johnson, the batter, who's 2 for 2 with a walk and 2 singles to left field. She'll face pitch 53 here from McCleary on 2 strikes and a fouled away pitch. And this one's going into left field, and it's going to go over the head of Ellie Weiss. That'll score Ashley Giroux. That will also score Paige Carlson, and they'll send Courtney Giroux, and it's a 3-run RBI double for Taya Johnson into deep left field. That makes it 15-2. And now we'll have a conference in the circle here for Fargo North. Grand Forks scored 4 in the first, 4 in the second, none in the third, and then if they can get one more run in this inning, they'll make up for not scoring 4 in the third.
Moorhead 13, Fargo South 1. That's the final.
So Haley Giroux, I believe, is the next batter here for the Knights.
Haley Giroux.
The Knights, 15 runs on 17 hits and 3 Fargo North errors and 3 left on base up to this point in the contest, with 2 away here in the top of the fourth. Gets a piece of that first pitch there, fouls it away for strike one. Giroux, Haley is 1 for 3. Strikeout swinging, a single, and a ground out on a 1-3 to McCleary last time at the plate. This one will be fouled away for strike 2. So 2 fouled away pitches for 2 strikes. Bases are empty now. Check that. Taya Johnson's on second. And that's hit out into left field and fouling out of play for another unofficial strike. It'll remain 0-2. 1 hour, 1 minute time of the game so far. Got another softball score that just came in. We'll tell you about that here in a moment. That one in the inning on a 5-3 ground out. Stranding Taya Johnson on second.
Grand Forks Central. 7 runs on 5 hits. There was 1 Spartan error. 1 runner left on base. Heading into the bottom of the 4th inning. The Knights lead 15-2.
All right, so Grand Forks Central, 15 runs on 17 hits, 3 Spartan errors and 4 left on base. The Spartans, 2 runs on 2 hits, 2 Knight errors and 2 left on base. Alex Agee will be the batter. Pembina County is headed to the East Region Tournament. They defeat Dakota Prairie by the score of 12-7. Once again, that's a softball score for you. Pembina County defeats Dakota Prairie 12-7. We'll keep you updated on any of the other scores that may come our way. We'll take a timeout and we'll be right back. Alex Agee will face pitch 37 from Reagan Fontaine. We'll return after this on the ND Sports Channel. All right, welcome back here. It's Alex Agee, the batter here for Fargo North, with her team trailing 15-2. Pops that one deep into center field, and it's just over the head of this center fielder, Haley Giroux, and that's good for a double for Alex Agee. Greta Rader steps up 0 for 1, line drive it into the goal of Paige Carlson her last time at the
Greta Rader.
All right, let's see here. Baseball score for you. Williston defeats Bismarck 3-2 in Game 1 of the doubleheader. Then Williston defeats Bismarck 12-0 in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Once again, that is a baseball score. 3-2 in Game 1 and 12-0 in Game 2. Both wins go to Williston over the Bismarck Demons. Pitch will miss outside for a ball. That's 2 balls and no strikes now to the batter, Greta Rader. Once again, she line drived it into the glove of Paige Carlson, the shortstop, her last time at the plate. Alex Agee, the runner on second, got there on a deep double to left. And now on a pass ball, Alex Agee's going to advance to third. And it's 3 balls, no strikes to Greta Rader. Watford City and Legacy baseball score went final. I don't have a score on it. All I can tell you is that was a final. Well, if I get that, I'll pass that along to you. 3 balls, no strikes. Make it 3 balls, 1 strike to Greta Rader. Alex Agee is on third. Agee, if memory serves me correctly, Agee scored. No, she's only scored 1 of the runs. And now she scored 2 of the runs as she comes across for run number 3 on an RBI single. Credit the double on the error. And Sophie Cody will step up to the plate now.
Sophie Cody.
15-3. Right now it's a 12-run lead for the Knights. If the Spartans can't chop it down to 9 or less, this thing could end in the next inning. That pitch will come a little bit low for a ball. Right now, nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth, so at the moment, the Spartans have 6 outs to work with, and they need to score at least 3 runs in those 6 outs. Right now, they have runner on second, Greta Rader. And that loose ball and a throw to third will not be in time. Rader in on the stolen base. 2 balls, no strike count to Sophie Cody. Is 0 for 1 with a ground out to the shortstop, Paige Carlson, on a 6-3. On her last at bat in game number 2. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Cody climbed the ladder and reached out at the same time. And if you know anything about ladders, you don't climb and reach out. 2-1. As the sun blares down the third baseline once again here at Nicholson Park in Fargo. 3 balls and a strike now to Sophie Cody. 1 hour, 7 minutes into the game. The next pitch here for Fontaine will be pitch 47. She's thrown 25 strikes and 21 balls on 46 pitches so far. Sophie Cody, the batter, checked that. Brianna Beach on deck, and now she'll step up to the plate for the walk.
Now batting the third baseman, Brianna Beach.
So Brianna Beach will face pitch 48 from Reagan Fontaine. And here it comes. Right down the middle on a one-hopper, and did she get it? Yes, she got the double play. Or no, she's not a double play, excuse me, but she got Rader out at third. So that officially puts Brianna Beach on with a fielder's choice. It doesn't go into the books as a hit.
Brings up the pitcher, Kaylee McClary.
Right now, head coach Ariel Jones talking to the home plate umpire about the out at third. I don't think she's going to get the answer she's looking for there. That'll bring up Kaylee McClary. And the pitch, high and outside for a ball. Runners on first and second. You got Sophie Cody on second and Brianna Beach on first. Brianna Beach on a fielder's choice to third. It was a direct hit to third, which allowed the third baseman to tag out the runner on third. That represents the only out so far. 1 ball, 1 strike now as she'll foul that one away, and that's 50 pitches for Fontaine. 27 strikes, 23 balls on 50 pitches, an hour and 9 minutes into the ball game. 15-3 lead for the Grand Forks Central Knights here in the bottom of the fourth with 1 away. Spartans have 5 outs to work with here. If they want to avoid the 10-run rule, they'll need to score at least 3 runs in those 5 outs. Right now, they do have a runner in scoring position. Sophie Cody on second. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck is Alexa Hamries, who will return to the top of the order here, assuming that a double play does not occur. That will catch the outside edge for strike 3, and that's out number 2. And here comes Alexa Hamry, 2 for 2.
Number 4, Alexa Hamry.
First time she doubled out into right field down the first base line, and then the most recent trip to the plate, she singled out into left field. So swing of the bat here could possibly score Cody and make Hamry 3 for 3. But right now, she has a little work to do to make that happen. She's 2 for 2 and will face pitch 53. Swing and a miss, strike 1 to Hamry. On deck is Ellie Wiest. If Hamry can get on base, so 2 away here in the bottom of the fourth. Fontaine would love to get out of this situation here. And so far, so good, as Hamry's down to the count 0-2. So if Fontaine can get one more pitch like those first two, she can end the inning here and strand those runners on base for the Spartans. Here it comes. She'll reach for it outside. Direct ground out to first. To Bailey Jagger will step on the bag, and that's all that's needed. Is the inning will come to an end, and we'll head now to the top of the fifth. Grand Forks Central have a chance to add some insurance runs here as they look to end this game early. 1 hour, 11 minutes. That's just 11 minutes shy of the 7-inning game that we had in Game 1 at 1 hour and 22. So we'll see what happens there. Let's see here.
Bismarck High 3-2 and then 12-0.
2 more softball finals just came in. Doubleheader, Dickinson Midgets pick up 2 wins over the Bismarck Legacy Sabres. 13-5 in Game 1 and 4-0 in Game number 2. Once again, it's the Midgets over the Sabres. 13-5 in Game 1 and 4-0 in Game number 2. We'll take a timeout. The top of the 5th is next on the ND Sports Channel. Welcome back. Top of the 5th. Reagan Fontaine, Bailey Jagger, and McKenna Erickson. Batters 5, 6, and 7 for the Knights here as they look to add some insurance runs. As the Spartans will have at least one more chance to bat in the bottom of the 5th. That's a nice way to start the insurance run policy as Fontaine's on with a single to left field. That brings up Bailey Jagger, who's 3 for 3. Single down the third base line, a single down the third base line, and a double to deep left center. That if that double would have had a little bit more juice on it, it would have ended up being a 3-run home run for Bailey Jagger, the senior. We'll see if she can knock it out of the park this time around. Right now, the pitch comes across for a ball, 1-0. That last pitch was pitch 60. 43 strikes on 60 pitches with 17 balls to tack on to that. Swing and a miss. Jagger, probably maybe one you wish you would have had back. So that pitch floated to the outside, took a wicked float to the outside too. And that's another grounder out into left field, and left field seems to be the best friend for the Knights here in this game 2 of this contest, as the first 2 batters are on with singles to left field.
Brings up the third
and that'll bring up
17,
McKenna Erickson, who is also 3 for 3 with 3 singles. 2 of them to left field, 1 to center field. The first one to left field, the second one to center field, and the most recent one to left field as well. So a single here would load the bases for Molly McEnroe. And that'll be fouled away down the third baseline for a strike, 1-1. 1 hour, 14 minutes into the ball game so far. A 15-3 lead here for Grand Forks Central over the Fargo North Spartans on their home field. I'd have to look back. I think the only doubleheader this year that the Fargo North Spartans have won both games on is the doubleheader against Devil's Lake. I think they've split or lost both of all their other doubleheaders this season. As Erickson will pop out for the first out to Greta Rader in center field.
Right fielder, number 5, Molly McEnroe.
Oh, 1 to McEnroe, and that one will hit her, and she will advance to first, and that will load the bases on an 0-1 count. McEnroe on with hit by a pitch.
7, Ashley Giroux.
That brings up Ashley Giroux, 1 for 3. Struck out looking, struck out swinging, and then singled to shallow right her last time. Now Alex Agee will take a trot up to the pitching circle to have a quick chat with Kaylee McClary, and now she'll come back, and that discussion will be over. And like I said a moment ago, Ashley Giroux will step up to the plate. 1 away here in the top of the 5th. Paige Carlson is on deck And Paige Carlson represents the top of the order here as we're at batter number 9 with Ashley Giroux. And the bases are loaded. Reagan Fontaine, the runner on third. Bailey Jagger, the runner on second. Molly McIntyre, the runner on first here with the Central Knights leading 15-3, looking to add to that total as Giroux reaches for one outside for strike one. Now I want to float up high for a ball, and it's 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Claire will have to be careful here. She walks Giroux. That'll make it 16-3. And the 1-1. Up high, 2 balls in the strike. And the windup in the delivery, and that will come in for a strike. So now it's an even count at 2-2, 70 pitches, 50 strikes, 20 balls for McClary. 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded. And the 2-2. Swung on, fouled up, and out of play. It'll remain 2-2 as a result. 1 hour, 17 minutes into the ball game. Partly cloudy and 59 degrees. Bases loaded for the Knights. Here's the pitch. Swung on, popped up, and that one, they lost it in the sun, and it got over to Brianna Beach, and now the tag out on Reagan Fontaine, and that ends the inning. So they get out of a bases-loaded jam on a double play. Brianna Beach makes the catch in foul territory and then tags Reagan Fontaine, who was not standing on third, and that's outs 2 and 3. And we'll be back after this on the ND Sports Channel.
4 runs on 2 hits, no Spartan errors, and 2 runners left on base. Heading into the bottom of the 5th inning, the Knights lead 15-3.
All right, it's up to Ellie Wiest, along with Ava Kalbrenner and Sam Martin, sophomore, and senior. And the first pitch is fouled away for a strike. The Spartans need at least 3 runs here in this inning, otherwise it'll be game over and the W will go to the Knights. If they do get 3 runs, we'll go to the 6th inning and see what happens. And a pitch will come up high and inside for a ball. 1-1 the count now. Coming up in your post-game show, we'll go over the game recap and select a player of the game and kind of give a summary on the season so far as it's about to wrap up. The Knights will have a doubleheader against Red River at Apollo Field in Grand Forks tomorrow. And the Spartans will wrap up the regular season tomorrow against the West Fargo Packers in a 1 game that's worth 2 EDC points. Ellie Wiest is going to reach on an error. That puts Ava Kalbrenner up to the
Ava Kalbrenner.
1 hour, 20 minutes into the game. The last game was 1 hour and 22 minutes. In the loss for the Fargo South Bruins, they lost 13-1 against the Moorhead Spuds. Addie Wagner had her second career home run. She got the first one here at Mickelson Park against the Northern Cache Jaguars, and now tonight against the Moorhead Spuds. So bright future there for the Bruins.
First baseman, number 14, Sam Martin.
So Kalbrenner will get a double. Now bring up Sam Martin. Sam Martin's birthday is in the next 12 months. I would suggest My Little Ponies as a birthday gift. She is 0 for 2. Reached base on an error and a line drive out to Paige Carlson her last time at the plate. One ball, no strikes. 1 ball, 1 strike on a fouled away pitch there by Sam Martin. Once again, nobody out. Runners on second and third. Sam Martin has to cross the plate in order for this game to go into the top of the 6th. And she's batting right now. And that will be a grounder, and that'll be scooped up by McKenna Erickson. And the throw to first will not be in time, and scoring for the Spartans is Ellie Wiest from third. That will be an error. So Martin reaches base on an error. That error will be charged to the third baseman. Ellie Wiest will come home on the same error, and advancing to third is Kalbrenner on the same error. Alex Agi almost hit a home run last time she was at the plate. This one will be a one-hopper into the glove of Erickson, and she'll fire it over to first, but she will not get the, it's another throwing error. And that scores Kalbrenner from third, and it's 15-5 now with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th.
Now batting the center fielder, Greta Rader. Courtesy running for the Spartans, Sammy Sanford.
So Sammy Sanford, the sophomore, will come take the place of Alex Agi at second base. And now, if Martin scores from third, this game's going to the 6th inning for sure. Pitch comes to the outside. And that'll be a grounder. That's batted down by Erickson. She'll fire it over to first. This time she gets the out. And as a result, it's an RBI ground out. Scoring Sam Martin and advancing Sammy Sanford over to third. That puts one away, and that sends this game to at least 6 innings.
Brings up the second baseman, number 8, Sophie Cody.
So after 2 failed attempts on a 5-3 ground out, they finally get the 5-3 ground out. Sammy Sanford, the runner on third, and the batter once again is Sophie Cody, 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk. 15-6. It's a 9-run lead for the Knights, so that means we'll be going to the 6th inning for sure. And does that go into the books as a swing? It does not. Ball 1 to Cody. So ball 1 ball, 1 strike as a result. That pitch will hit the corner. Strike 2. 1 hour, 25 minutes into the ball game now. This game is 3 minutes longer than the first game. That one in favor of Fargo North by a score 5-1. Right now, Grand Forks Central in a pretty good position to possibly take home the W here. As long as they can get a couple more outs here. And And it's a full count. A ball, strike, a ball, a ball. Makes the count 3-2. And the next pitch is pitch number 70. So game 2 of a doubleheader between Minot and Williston. They played basically 2 1/3 games today. They resumed a game from April 30th. They won that one 17-16.
Third baseman, number 19,
And then
Brianna Beach.
in game 1 or game 2 of the day, but game 1 of a scheduled doubleheader, they would win 10-0 in 5 innings over Williston. And then game 2, they won 15-5 in 5 innings over Williston. So Minot High getting 3 wins today, the defending state champions. Nice hit out into left field, and it's over the outstretched arm of Ashley Giroux. That will score Sammy Sanford. They'll round Cody from first, and she's in safely. And it's an 2-run RBI double for Brianna Beach to left field. That brings up Kaylee, check that, it puts Gabby Olick back into the lineup now.
Now batting for the Spartans, number 16, Gabby Olick.
Gabby Olick gets her first at bat in this game, as she didn't get a chance to bat while she was pitching the first 2 innings before she was taken out. And now she re-enters the lineup here. And we will turn down the background music there so we don't get blocked for AC/DC. We did get a copyright claim on Alan Jackson's Star Spangled Banner. We're going to dispute that and win it, because you can't make a claim on the Star Spangled Banner. I think it's because it was Alan Jackson and not just some random recording or instrumental. We disputed the last one. I forgot. I don't know who sang the last one we disputed. But we won that one, and we're going to win this one too. We're 100% on our disputes on the Star Spangled Banner. But I think what we're going to do is just, in the future, run commercial breaks over the Star Spangled Banner so we don't have to deal with that anymore. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss, and Olick kind of lost her footing there. She's able to get back up without hurting herself. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now. 15-8. It was 15-3 when we started this inning. That one's going to be popped up and to the right side of the press box. Foul for an unofficial strike. 75 pitches for Reagan Fontaine now. 45 strikes and 30 balls as we reach the 1 hour, 30-minute mark of the ball game. Brianna Beach, the runner on second for Fargo North. Gabby Olick, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one will just barely miss for ball 2. We'll be in West Fargo tomorrow. We'll see the Packers on the ND Sports Channel. That might be a delayed broadcast, just an FYI for you. As that's a good drop third strike. No, apparently not. It's a swing and a miss. Ump says she didn't drop it, so strikeout swinging. K to the right for Fontaine. And that brings up Alexa Hamry, who has had some success in this game. She doubled right field her first time, singled the left field her second time, and then grounded out on a direct ground out the first. Her most recent trip to the plate. We'll see if she can recover from that ground out on this at bat. And she'll foul it down the third baseline for strike 1. 2 away. If Hamry can get on, we'll see Ellie Wiest. Yeah, swing and a miss there, and that's strike 2 for Alexa Hamry. Once again, 1 hour, 30 minutes into the ball game here. 15-8, 0-2 count to Alexa Hamry, who's 2 for 3 with a double, a single, and a ground out to first. And the windup of the delivery, the 0-2 is up high, and Hamry will swing and send that into the gap in right center. And rounding third is Brianna Beach. Here comes the throw at home, and she got tagged out. And that won the inning.
Bottom of the fifth for the Spartans. 5 runs on 4 hits, 2 net errors, and 1 runner left on base.
So we'll head now to the top of the 6th inning.
Grand Forks Central leads 15-8.
After 5 innings of play, Grand Forks Central, 15 runs on 19 hits, 3 Fargo North Spartan errors, and 6 left on base. For the Spartans, 8 runs on 7 hits, 7 Grand Forks Central Knights errors, and 5 left on base. Time of the game, 1 hour, 31 minutes. Back in a moment on the ND Sports Channel. All right, welcome back. Top of the 6th inning here. Paige Carlson will lead things off for the Grand Forks Central Knights. 2 for 4 with a flyout, a triple to left, a strikeout swinging, and a single to right. In that order on her 4 plate appearances in this contest so far. Now she steps up to the plate for the 5th time in this game, and she'll face Gabby Olick for the 2nd of those 5th times. She faced her on her her 3rd actually. Faced her on the flyout and the triple. Faced Kaylee McCleary on the strikeout swinging and the single, and now she faces Gabby Olick again. And it's no balls and 1 strike to Carlson, sophomore, excuse me. And that'll be over to Ochoa, but she will not be able to pick it up. That goes into the books as a reach base on an error.
Now batting the second baseman, Courtney Giroux.
Courtney Giroux, 2 for 4. Single, and a ground out and an error. Reach base on an error. The first single to right field, the second single to left field, the ground out to third base, and the reach base on an error was at the third base position as well. Now she'll bunt this one. It'll drop and roll foul for a strike. That's 75 pitches now for Gabby Olick as she returns. Check that. That's not 75 pitches. That is 45 pitches for Gabby Olick. I was looking at the wrong stat book there.
The final up in Grand Forks Central baseball team beats Fargo Davies 10-6. Minot Williston played in fast pitch doubleheader. Minot wins the first game 17-16. The second game 10-0.
They played 3 games. Yeah. 15-5 was the final game 3.
There was actually a third game in the Minot Williston fast pitch. 15-5, Minot wins the third game. They made up a earlier game in that first one.
All right, so Courtney Giroux is the batter here. She's 2 for 4. A single to right, a single to, check that. She's not the batter. I had to reverse a couple plays there. Oh yeah, she is the batter. Okay, so there's another bunt. And now Gaviola's going to run over to third, and did she make the tag? I think she did. She did. We'll take a pause here as I'm not exactly sure if there's an injury at third or not. They're going to actually redo the play. They're going to just, that play never happened, or did it? Okay, the play did happen.
Now batting the catcher, number 3, Taylor
That was
Johnson.
confusing, I'll be honest. But Paige Carlson is out.
Hey, go. Yeah. Time right here. Go ahead. All right, then don't- why can't we do
That one's going to be fouled away. Taya Johnson, the batter, 3 for 3. A walk, a single to left, and a double to left. And now a fouled away pitch for a strike. And that pitch comes a little bit low for a ball. 1-1 the count to Taya Johnson. And that one will go behind the back of Taya Johnson. That'll allow Courtney Giroux to advance to second on the pass ball, and that goes into the books as ball 2. And that's 50 pitches for Oleg now. 31 strikes and 19 balls, an hour and 37 minutes into the ball game. We've gone 15 minutes past the time of game number 1, which was an hour and 22 minutes. That one is fouled away and out of play for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In tennis, Minot defeats Century 9-0. That score just went final a little bit ago. Here's the windup in the 2-2. And it floats outside for a full count. Taya Johnson was walked her first time at the plate. Since then, she has 2 singles and a double. And the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Johnson goes down on strikes. That brings up Haley Drew.
The center fielder, number 1, Haley Drew.
She's 1 for 4. She struck out swinging her first time at the plate, and then singled to left field, and then a ground out on a 1-3 and a ground out on a 5-3. So that's a ground out to the pitcher and a ground out to third base if you're not familiar with the numbers there. As the pitch comes a little bit low for a ball there to Haley Giroux. Once again, runner on second is Courtney Giroux, and here's the pitch. Swung on, hit high, left field, and that one is gone. Forget about it. It's a 2-run home run for Haley Giroux, scoring Courtney Giroux, and the Knights get 2 more on the board, and it's 17-8. That was a well-hit ball by Haley Giroux out into left field, and right by the scoreboard there is where it went out, and now the lead is back up to 9. 17-8 on a 2-run homer by Haley Giroux.
Now batting the pitcher, number 8, Reagan Fontaine.
I'll bring up Reagan Fontaine, who's 2 for 2 with a walk, a single, and then was hit by a pitch, and then had another single. The first single was the left field. The second single was an infield single on what almost was a fielder's choice, but she was able to run out the throw. That one's also going to left field, but not quite as deep as the last one, and Ellie Weiss will make the grab to end the inning. So it's a 9-run lead for the Knights as we go into the bottom of the 6th inning here. And that means we'll play a full 7 because Fargo North will get the bottom half of the inning regardless of how many runs they're down by. We'll see Ellie Weiss, Ava Kalbrenner, and Sam Martin, batters 2, 3, and 4 as we head to the bottom of the 6th next here on the ND Sports Channel.
Paper tickets. Rookie mistake. Game Time is the fastest way to buy tickets to live events with your friends. You can buy the perfect seats in seconds, and tickets are delivered directly to your phone, so you always have them with you. Download Game Time free on the App Store, and you'll instantly see a curated list of the best upcoming events in your area. Game Time sorts through thousands of available seats on the market and presents you with only the 50 best values. One of the best things about Game Time is you can get tickets at last-minute prices even after the game starts. Download Game Time free on the App Store today.
Now batting for the Spartans, the left fielder, Ellie Weiss. All right, taking over there for the PA announcer for one or two batters. Ellie Weiss 0 for 2, ground out a walk and reach base on an error. Swing and a miss for a strike. I think it's 0-1. It's 1-1, okay. And that'll be grounded foul for strike number 2. Reagan Fontaine at 83 pitches now, 51 strikes and 32 balls. That pitch will float outside for a ball as well. 2-2 the count. And the 2-1 pitch will float outside for 3-1. And Ellie Weiss is potentially a pitch away from either walking or striking out. It's a payoff pitch coming up here for Fontaine. 1 hour and 43 minutes into the ball game. Ava Kalbrenner's on deck. And that'll be grounded. 2-hopper into the glove of McKenna Erickson. She'll fire it over to Bailey Jagger for the 5-3 ground out. Now batting for the Spartans, Ava Kalbrenner, the designated player. And that's grounded foul for a strike. Kalbrenner 1 for 3, a fly out, reach base on a fielder's choice, and then a double to center field, her last time at the plate. And that will be grounded out into center field this time around, and that's good for a single, and that'll bring up Sam Martin. And darn it, I didn't get to announce this one. I've always wanted to announce one to this walk-up song.
Number 14, Sam Martin.
Sam Martin's 0 for 3. Reach base on an error, then a line drive out to Paige Carlson at short, and then a reach base on an error again. Both of those errors were on the third baseman. Ava Kalbrenner, the runner on first. Yeah, Sam Martin, the batter now. Check that. Yeah, that's right, Sam Martin. That one hit her. I believe it hit her anyway. It looked like it hit her from up here, but maybe it didn't. Kalbrenner will advance to second on the pass ball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to Sam Martin. That one's going to be popped up. Third base, not able to make a play on it there. Three balls and a strike now to Sam Martin. Runner on second is Ava Kalbrenner. And the windup in the pitch. Outside, ball 4. Martin's on with a walk, and that brings up Alex Agee.
Now batting the catcher, Alex Agee.
So the Class B East Region softball tournament is now set. Central Cass will play Pembina County North. Mayport CG Hat Northwood will play Hankinson Tri-State. Thompson will play Kindred Richland, and Hillsborough Central Valley will play Grafton in the first round of the Class B East Region softball tournament. Alex Agee 1 for 3. Ground out, double, and an error in that order. And this one's going to left field. That was a nice crack of the bat, and that's good for a single to load the bases here for Fargo North, bringing up Greta Rader.
Center fielder number 9, Greta Rader.
And we'll have a courtesy runner on first for Alex Agee.
Courtesy running will be Sandy Sanford.
Sammy Sanford, the courtesy runner, sophomore for the Spartans. Swing and a miss for a strike. Greta Rader's 1 for 3. A line drive to the shortstop, Paige Carlson. And then a single to left field, and then a ground out on a 5-3 to the third baseman, McKenna Erickson. 17-8. That one's popped up, and that's a shallow pop-up. Coming in is Erickson to make the grab, and that's 2 away. Bases remain loaded. No runners will move anywhere, and that'll bring up the next batter here for the Fargo North Spartans. And that batter is
Sophie Cody.
There you go, Sophie Cody. 0 for 1 with a ground out to shortstop, Paige Carlson on a 6-3. Since then, she was walked 2 times in a row on her last 2 trips to the plate. Now we'll see what Cody can do this time around with the bases loaded as the pitch floats outside, but caught the corner for a strike, 0-1. And Cody will ground this one, and it'll find its way into shallow left. Scoring is Ava Kalbrenner. Also scoring is, let's see, will that one count? That's the question. It's 17-9 for sure. Is it 17-10 because Sam Martin got tagged on her way to second to third before Sanford got tagged from second to third before Martin could score. We'll double check on that. It's either 17-9 or 17-10 when we come back after this on the ND Sports Channel.
First baseman will lead off. Number 13, Bailey Jager.
All right, a soccer update for you here is Fargo Davies, after trailing 1-0 at halftime, come back and defeat the West Fargo Packers by the score of 4-1. So that's a final in girls soccer. Davies over West Fargo by the score of 4-1. Back here it is Bailey Jager, and she is a perfect 4 for 4. A single down the first baseline, followed by a single down the first baseline, followed by a double in the left center, followed by a single into left field. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count now to Bailey Jager, the senior. Top of the 7th. We'll see the Spartans in the bottom of the 7th, and that one will be a hit out into left field. I'll go over the shortstop, Ochoa. And it's good for a single, and she's a perfect 5 for 5 now, with 4 singles and a double.
McKenna Erickson.
McKenna Erickson nearly as perfect as Jager, but missed one on her last plate appearance. She would fly out. Prior to that, she was 3 for 3 with 3 singles. 2 to left field, 1 to center field, and then the fly out on her most recent trip to the plate was the left center. And the 1-0 pitch is fouled away over the press box for 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Runner on first is Bailey Jager. And that will be grounded, and that will get by Ochoa in the left center field. It'll be scooped up by Greta Rader, and that will advance Jager up to second on the single by Erickson and bring up Molly McEnroe.
The right fielder, number 5, Molly McEnroe.
Okay, right here, 5. Here we go, bud.
McEnroe 1 for 3, a double, a fly out, ground out, and was hit by a pitch last time she was at the plate. Now she takes the first pitch of this at bat for a strike. Should say plate appearance. Now it's an at bat, and that will be reach base on an error that'll load the bases for Ashley Giroux, who I believe hit the home run last time she was up. Let me double check that here.
Now batting for the Knights, left fielder, Ashley Giroux.
No, it was the other Giroux who hit the home run. Ashley Giroux's 1 for 4, struck out looking, struck out swinging, single to right, fly out, and now a pop-up that goes into the glove of Gabby Olick, who run into Brianna Beach on that play there. Thankfully, that for Spartan fans, that one was not dropped, and that's out number 1 as Ashley Giroux will pop out.
The shortstop, number 2, Paige Carlson.
Runners will hold on their original bases. You have Molly McEnroe on first, McKenna Erickson on second, and Bailey Jager on third. Paige Carlson's 3 for 5. Swing and a miss, strike 1 here. A fly out to the shortstop, Sophie Ochoa, and then she followed that up with a triple to deep left, a strikeout swinging, and then back-to-back singles, 1 to right field and 1 to very shallow left center. And now she's down to the count 0-1, and now she's hit by a pitch, and that will score a run from third. Scores Bailey Jager from third to make it 18-9.
Brings up the second baseman, Courtney Giroux.
Courtney Giroux is 3 for 5 with a single, a ground out, reach base on an error, and a single. And this one's fouled away for a strike. Time of the game, 1 hour and 54 minutes. Nearing that 2-hour mark here at Mickelson Park as the lights have come on. I said early in our pregame show that we probably would not be here for the 8:55 sunset. Now I'm going to say that we might be here for it. Still 11 minutes away, but Courtney Giroux 0-2. 1 away, and that one comes up high, and Giroux had to duck down. That's 1 ball, and 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded. McKenna Erickson, the runner on third. Molly McEnroe, the runner on second. Paige Carlson, the runner on first. And once again, the batters, Courtney Giroux with Taya Johnson on deck. And Giroux will pop that one up. Right field, running for it is Alexa Hamry. And no, the runners will not tag, and that'll be a fly out. Putting 2 down and brings up Taya Johnson.
Brings up the catcher, number 3, Taya Johnson.
Taya Johnson, 3 for 4. A walk, a single, and a double out of left field, and then struck out swinging her last time at the plate. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. On deck is the home run hitter, Haley Giroux. That last pitch there by Olick was pitch 75, 47 strikes, 28 balls, and I'll make it 29 balls, and it's a 2-0 count to Taya Johnson. Up high for a ball, 3-0. And that will be ball 4. That will score McKenna Erickson from third on the walk. And that brings up the home run hitter, Haley Giroux. 2 for 5, struck out swinging, a single, a ground out. And then the home run last time over left center field. Swing and a miss for a strike there for Giroux. Molly McEnroe, the runner on third. Carlson, the runner on second. Johnson, the runner on first. That one's popped up and fouled away for strike 2. The single went to left field, and the home run went to left field. And that's a swing and a miss, and Giroux this time will strike out swinging. They do exactly what she did her first time at the bat, and now the Spartans, down 10, will need at least 10 runs to send this to the 8th inning. We'll see if they can do that, and it'll be Brianna Beach, Gabby Olick, and Alexa Hamry who are the scheduled batters pending changes when we return after this on the ND Sports Channel.
Top of the 7th.
All right, welcome back. Brianna Beach will lead things off. She's 1 for 3 of the flyout, fielder's choice, and a double. Grand Forks Central, 19 runs on 24 hits, 4 Spartan errors, and 9 left on base. That'll be a grounder right over to Paige Carlson. She'll fire it over to Jagger for the ground out. 6-3 for scoring at home. That brings up the next batter. That is Gabby Olick. 0 for 1, struck out swinging.
Gabby Olick.
This will be her second plate appearance. For the Fargo Spartans, 9 runs on 10 hits, 7 Grand Forks Central night errors, and 7 left on base. Time of the game, our first pitch was at 6:49. It's now 8:49. We're exactly 2 hours into this ball game here, and that pitch comes up high for a ball. That pitch will come down low for ball 2. It was 4-1 Grand Forks Central at the end of 1. 8-1 Grand Forks Central at the end of 2. 8-2 at the end of 3 in favor of the Knights. 15-3 at the end of 4 in favor of the Knights. 15-8 at the end of 5 in favor of the Knights. 17, let's see, did I do the math right there? 17 to 9 at the end of 6. And now it's 19 to 9 at the end of 6.5. 3-0, the 3-1 pitch comes across for a strike. And it's 3-2, a full count to the batter, Gabby Olick. Reagan Fontaine has now thrown 102 pitches, 41 strikes, 61 balls. Check that. 41 balls, 61 strikes is what I meant to say. And that one may have hit her. I'm not sure. It's a drop third strike. Either way, she's on base.
Brings up the right fielder, number 4, Alexa Hamry.
3 for 4 for Alexa Hamry. A double, a single, a ground out, and a single. The ground out was a direct ground out to Bailey Jagger at first on 2 plate appearances ago. Last time she was up, she'd single out into center field. Here's the pitch, and Hamry's going to send that right into the glove of McKenna Erickson at third, and the throw back to first is a little bit over the head of Jagger, and Olick will get up to second anyway.
The left fielder, number 11, Ellie Weiss. Correction, number 17, now batting, Caitlin Armand.
So Gabby Olick advances to second now, and with that theme song, I don't even have to look out. I just know that it's Caitlin Armand. So Caitlin Armand will take over the number 2 spot in the batting lineup here from Ellie Wiest. And now the throw to third, and Olick is safe at third on a head-first slide on a... We'll give her credit for the stolen base, as the pitch didn't really get by Taya Johnson, so it's not a pass ball. But it does go into the books as ball 1 to Caitlin Armand. And here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Armand evens up the count at 1-1 on a pitch that would have been 2 balls, no strikes, had she not taken the chance on that one. That one will float up high and outside for ball 2. 2-1. 107 pitches now for Fontaine. 19 to 9. Spartans being a little bit pesty here for the Knights, making them go the full 7 on this. And that'll be fouled away into the cage for a strike. For a moment there, I thought the ball got stuck in between the links. Softball a little bit bigger. I've seen it happen in baseball games. As a matter of fact, we got video proof from a baseball game last summer. 2-2 pitch into the dirt. Full count, 3-2. And coming home is Gabby Olick on the pass ball. 19 to 10 now as the Spartans crack double digits. Girls soccer final, Red River and Fargo North. Tie 0-0. So that's a final, 0-0 between Fargo North and Red River in girls soccer. That one's going to be hit high and foul down the first base line and out of play. So Caitlin Armand now is facing pitch number 7 from Fontaine, which will be pitch 111. Payoff pitch 1 was fouled away. Here's payoff pitch number 2. Right back through the legs of Fontaine into center field. That's good for a single for Armand, and that'll bring up Ava Kalbrenner.
Now batting the designated player, Ava Kalbrenner.
Kalbrenner's 2 for 4. Fly out, reach base on a fielder's choice. Since then, a double and a single. Both of those doubles and the single went to center field. We're at 2 hours and 5 minutes in the ball game now, and that one will be fouled away for a strike, 0-1. Once again, Caitlin Armand on the runner on first on a through the legs single to center field. That Fontaine couldn't get her glove down quick enough on that one. That one's going to be rifled out. Line drive center field, trying to make the catcher is Giroux, but it won't go. Caitlin Armand, they're going to wave her around home, and Caitlin Armand's going to score, and the Spartans are a little bit closer now. 19-11 on an RBI double for Ava Kalbrenner. So that brings up Sam Martin, 0 for
Now
3.
batting the first baseman, number 14, Sam Martin.
What is friendship all about? My little pony.
19-11 now. Martin up to bat, 0 for 3. Reach base on an error. Line drive to Carlson. Reach base on an error. And now a single, an RBI single that will score Kalbrenner from second, make it an RBI double. And Kalbrenner and Martin will switch spots.
Now batting for the Spartans, the catcher, number 5, Alex Eggy.
Well, Alex Agee has the power to make this 19-14 with a swing of the bat. Although head coach Ariel Jones is saying I'll settle for a base hit. You may have heard that in the background there. Agee 2 for 4, ground out to shortstop, and then a double to center field. And reach base on an error on the third baseman, and then on her most recent trip to the plate, she singled out into left field. 19-12, 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Runner on second is Sam Martin. Greta Raiders on deck if Agee can get on. And here's pitch 115. Agee's going to hit that one up high. Drifting back is Paige Carlson. Did she make the grab? She did. And that ends the inning, and that will be your final score. The Grand Forks Central Knights pick up the victory in Game 2 by the final of 19-12. We'll add up some numbers here. Time of the game, 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Central errors, 1 runner left on base. Final score of the second game of our doubleheader is Grand Forks Central 19, Fargo North 12. Up next for the Spartans.
We'll add up some numbers and come back with your post-game show here in a few minutes on the Andy Sports Channel.
This is Michael Hall, a senior at Kindred High School and the 2018-19 North Dakota High School Activities Association Distinguished Student. While the scoreboard reveals the winner of a high school athletic contest, the real winners are those that display good sportsmanship. We need those people who treat competition as a game and not a war. People who show genuine concern for an injured player and those who accept all decisions of the game officials. Remember to be a good sport and a good citizen when you attend a high school game. A public service message from the North Dakota High School Activities Association.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in North Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level of my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
Did you miss any or all of this live game broadcast? Not to worry. Over 90% of the games streamed on the Andy Sports Channel are available on demand 24/7 under Game Rewind on our website, so you can watch the game anytime. You can also take advantage of the DVR feature and watch a delayed version of this live broadcast, and at any time return to live action simply by clicking the live button. Now you don't have to miss your son's huge game-winning goal or your daughter's set ceiling ace serve. Andy Sports Channel, Andy Sports Online.
High school sports programs provide valuable lessons for practical life solutions, teamwork, sportsmanship, and hard work. Students learn self-respect through responsibility of their actions through high school activities. There are kids out there, coaches and parents, who appreciate sports officials for doing a tough job with class. More officials are needed. Someone like you. Contact your local high school or the North Dakota High School Activities Association to find out how to become an official. A message from the North Dakota High School Activities Association.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in North Dakota. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life.
The game is close. It's a big rivalry. Students jump out of their seats while the cheerleaders lead the chanting. Everyone is on edge. The shot is up and the buzzer sounds. All eyes follow the ball. Will it fall through the net? You can hear the hush of the crowd. With your whistle, you watch if his feet were inside the line or not. The crowd erupts. It's a game winner. Or is it? You make the call. Become an official. Contact your local high school. A message from the North Dakota High School Activities Association.
This stage is nowhere near Broadway, and none of these actors will be accepting an Oscar anytime soon. Still, they are rehearsing for something important. While they learn their lines, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, that everyone has a part to play. Skills that will make them stars long after the curtain falls. The National Federation of State High School Associations reminds you that when kids take part in high school activities, they get set for life.
Okay, here are 3 important reasons why your son or daughter should play a sport in high school.
Number 1.
High school sports teach valuable life lessons like self-discipline and time management skills.
2.
Teens who play a high school sport have better grade point averages.
And number 3.
High school sports are safer than ever before.
This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in North Dakota so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, welcome back. Here is our final score in game number 2. It was the Grand Forks Central Knights 19 and the Fargo North Spartans 12. As I catch my breath from running downstairs and running back up really quick here. I apologize for that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the game recap here. In game 1, Fargo North won 5-1. They led 1-0 after 1. Neither team scored in the second. Fargo North tacked on 2 in the bottom of the third to make it 3-0. Neither team would score in the fourth or fifth, and then Fargo North would get 2 more in the bottom of the sixth to make it 5-0. Grand Forks Central got 1 back in the top of the seventh, but they would fall short 5-1. Final line score in game 1. The Knights, 1 run on 7 hits, no North Spartan errors, and 7 left on base. For the Spartans, 5 runs on 6 hits and 2 Knights errors and 3 left on base. That is game 1 line score. In game number 2, Grand Forks Central jumped out to a 4-0 lead in the top half of the first inning. Fargo North would get 1 of those 4 runs back to make it 4-1 heading into the second, where Grand Forks Central would score 4 more to make it 8-1 going into the third. The Knights would not score in the top of the third. Fargo North gets 1 back in the bottom of the third, and it's 8-2 heading into the 4th inning in favor of the Grand Forks Central Knights. And then the Grand Forks Central Knight bats would come alive again, including a 2-run homer from Haley Giroux as part of a 7-run inning. I think that was in the 5th inning. Let me double-check the scorebook here to make sure that that was in the 5th inning. Yes. No, it was in the 4th inning. I apologize. It was. I'll have to look back, and I'm not. We're not going to go. We're not going to make a comment on that right now because I think something got messed up in that scorebook there. So, somebody hit a 2-run home run, and it was indeed in the 4th inning as part of a 7-inning run for the Grand Forks Central Knights. Fargo North would get 1 in the bottom of the 4th. And it would be 15-3 heading into the 5th inning, where the Knights would not score in the 5th, but Fargo North would get 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th. And at that point, it was, let's see here, 15-8. 15-8 at the end of 5. So we'd go to round number 6, and Grand Forks Central would get 2 runs back to make it, let's see here, 15-8. And at that point, it would be 17-8. Fargo North would score in the bottom of the 6th to make it 17-9. Grand Forks Central would get 2 runs in the top of the 7th to make it 19-9. Fargo North would get 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th to make it 19-12. Your final line score, Grand Forks Central, 19 runs on 24 hits and 4 Fargo North Spartan errors. And they left 9 on base in the game, the Knights did. For the Fargo North Spartans, 12 runs on 13 hits and 8 Knight errors and 8 left on base. So even though the Knights had a handful of errors in that second game there, they were still able to hang on thanks to some big first, second, and 4th inning showings there for the Grand Forks Central Knights. And then let's see here, pitching in game 2 for the Knights was all Reagan Fontaine, 7 innings pitch. Faced 41 batters, 45 balls and 70 strikes on 115 pitches, allowed 12 runs, and struck out 2, both of them swinging, allowed 13 hits and walked 5 batters, and hit no batters and gave up no home runs, and allowed an on-base percentage of 0.439. For the Fargo North Spartans pitching, it started out with Gabby Olick, then Kaylee McCleary would come in, then Gabby Olick would come back in. So the numbers I'm going to read off here for Gabby Olick are the combined numbers from those 2 appearances. She'd pitch a total of 3 innings, faced 26 batters, 31 balls, 50 strikes on 81 pitches, allowed 11 of the 19 runs. Let's see here. Struck out 4, 1 looking, 3 swinging, allowed 13 hits and walked 3 batters, and gave and hit 1 batter, had 1 wild pitch and gave up that 2-run homer to I'm pretty sure it was Haley Giroux who hit the 2-run homer. And then Kaylee McCleary would come in the 2nd inning and pitch until the 6th inning when Gabby Olick would come back. She'd give her 4 innings pitched, 23 balls, 20 strikes on. 23 batters faced, 20 balls and 52 strikes on 72 pitches, allowed 8 runs, and let's see here, struck out 2, both of them swinging, allowed 11 hits, and hit 2 batters and gave up no home runs. The totals for the 2 pitchers combined through 7 innings of play, 49 batters faced, 51 balls, 102 strikes, 153 pitches thrown, 19 runs, and struck out 6, 1 looking, 5 swinging, 24 hits allowed, 3 batters walked, 3 batters hit by a pitch, 1 wild pitch, and 1 home run given up for the Spartans from the pitching circle in this contest. Let's go ahead and take a look at where these two teams stand up now. Grand Forks Central will improve to 5-12 on the year, 4-7 when playing on the road, and 3-7 against EDC opponents. They have now scored 86 runs on the year, and they've allowed 193 runs. They'll wrap up the regular season tomorrow up at Apollo Park in Grand Forks against their crosstown rivals in a doubleheader, the Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders. So we wish both the Knights and the Rough Riders luck in their final regular season game of the season. And then for the Fargo North Spartans, their final game of the season will be tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. against the West Fargo Packers in West Fargo. That will wrap up the regular season for Fargo North as they'll head into that game with a record of 11-13. They end the year at home at 500, 6-6 on the year. And we'll see if they can maybe go to 6-6 on the road too, or if they'll fall to 5-7 tomorrow when they play the West Fargo Packers. We'll see. And if they can get the win, they'll finish the season at home at 500, at home on the road at 500, and then that 0-1 loss on a neutral field would be the only reason they didn't finish the entire season at 500. 8-5 right now against EDC opponents. 163 runs scored and 170 runs allowed, and once again their next game will be against West Fargo tomorrow at 4:30. It was originally supposed to be a doubleheader on Saturday, but due to the pending weather forecasts on Saturday, they moved the game back, or ahead I should say, to Friday, and it's going to be 1 game for 2 EDC points instead of 2 games for 1 point per game. So there you go. And to the best of our knowledge, Fargo North is now the road team. I did talk to the athletic director at West Fargo, asked him about that, and he said to the best of his knowledge, West Fargo will be the home team and Fargo North will be the road team. I talked to assistant coach Tim Howe, and he said that they're still working on it, but as of the moment, West Fargo is the home team. So I guess we'll find out tomorrow who the home team is in that game against West Fargo. Let's see here. Coming up, we'll have the upcoming schedules, which we've sort of gone over already. We'll select our player of the game and wrap things up here from Mickelson Park here as this game lasted 2 hours and 7 minutes. The first game, 1 hour and 22 minutes. So a grand total of 3 hours and 29 minutes of softball here today on the ND Sports Channel. We'll be right back.
Paper tickets. Rookie mistake. Game Time is the fastest way to buy tickets to live events with your friends. You can buy the perfect seats in seconds, and tickets are delivered directly to your phone, so you always have them with you. Download Game Time free on the App Store, and you'll instantly see a curated list of the best upcoming events in your area. Game Time sorts through thousands of available seats on the market and presents you with only the 50 best values. One of the best things about Game Time is you can get tickets at last-minute prices even after the game starts. Download Game Time free on the App Store today.
All right, welcome back as we return for the wrap-up our post-game show here on the ND Sports Channel. Certainly appreciate you tuning in today, all the fans from Grand Forks that weren't able to make the trip down to Fargo today. Certainly glad that we could provide the game for you, and we'll give you more details on how you can watch this game again if you missed some of it, all of it, or if you maybe had a friend or family member that missed it. We'll tell you more about that here in a little bit. The Fargo North Spartans, they'll wrap up the regular season tomorrow against the West Fargo Packers at 4:30 p.m. And then the Grand Forks Central Knights will wrap up the regular season tomorrow with a rescheduled doubleheader game against Grand Forks Red River up at Apollo Park in Grand Forks. Time now to select a player of the game. And let's go ahead and, I mean, we could have gone with a whole bunch of people. If we could select like 5 players of the game, we would. But since we only can pick one, we're going to make the very difficult choice and go with the senior first baseman for the Knights, Bailey Jagger, who had an outstanding game in Game 2. 5 plate appearances, 5 at-bats, scored 3 of the team's runs, and had a total of 5 hits, 4 singles, and a double, and 3 RBIs, batted .667 with 1 walk, and no strikeouts, no hit by a pitch, no stolen bases, and an on-base percentage of a 1,000. So a perfect game pretty much here for the senior first baseman, Bailey Jagger, for the Grand Forks Central Knights as they go on to defeat the Spartans here on 19-12 in game number 2 of the doubleheader as they fall 5-1 in game 1. Final scores, you can find them on our website. If you go to our website under the menu button, hover over games and click on final scores, you'll come to this page here, which seems to want to load up slowly. But you see the first game there was won by Fargo North 5-1. That one's already available for a 24/7 replay. So you can go to our final scores page, hover the mouse over the watch button, click on it, and it'll take you right to the page where the game is at so you can watch it. This game, as soon as In Progress turns to watch, will be available, and that will be done within about 30 minutes after we go off the air here. And then on Friday, we'll have the West Fargo Packers and the Fargo North Spartans at 4:30. And then the soccer game on Saturday is pending. We might have a baseball game. We might have a soccer game. We'll have to see. But at the moment, it's tentatively scheduled for the soccer game between Fargo Davies and Grand Forks Red River. Of course, you can check our website for the upcoming schedule, for the most accurate upcoming schedule, which can be found right on this page here. As you can see, we're winding down on the spring sports season here, and right now we tentatively have that 1 o'clock game for Davies and Red River on the soccer pitch down at Fargo Davies High School. And then the EDC tournament, it looks like Fargo North will sneak their way into this one. I guess we'll have to wait and see how the rest of the teams turn out. But we'll have the 3 radio broadcast of the games in Valley City for Fargo North on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, those times pending. And we'll have more on that probably later. And then the East-West All-Star game will be here in Fargo, games 1 and 2, and then we'll move it over to Bismarck for the skills competition in game 3 on June 4th. And then we'll take a week off, and we'll have the All-Star volleyball matchup on June 10th and 11th. And then after that, we'll wait and see what happens here. We would love it if you were to head to our website, NDSportsChannel.com, and donate. We certainly could use the funds to help continue to bring these broadcasts to you here in the upcoming fall sports season. And if you can help us out, that'd be absolutely awesome. And if you put in the comment section there on your donation, what team, whether it's like Fargo North in general, or Fargo North softball, or maybe it's Grand Forks, or maybe it's Fargo Davies, or Fargo South, or whatever team you are a fan of. If you make the donation, you tell us what team you're a fan of, and that donation will go towards coverage of that team that team and or school this upcoming fall. So whatever that be, if somebody donates from Dickinson, we'll go out to Dickinson and do those games. So the fall sports schedule is dependent on your donations and where we go and all that good stuff. So we could certainly use the donations. We certainly appreciate those who have donated up to this point. And you can donate at ndsportschannel.com/let's team up. And we also have the donation right there on our homepage now as well. These games will be available for 24/7 Rewind. If you click on the Game Rewind button, you'll come to this screen on our website. You'll see all the teams in alphabetical order. On the left-hand side, the North Dakota teams. Middle of the screen there's the North Dakota youth and summer teams. And then the right-hand side is all the out-of-state teams that have been featured on the Andy Sports Channel. And you just scroll down. They're all listed in alphabetical order there. And in the case of this game here, you scroll down to Fargo North or scroll down to Grand Forks Central. Click on, so for example, Grand Forks Central. You'll filter out the other 83 teams and only give you the games that feature the Knights. And then it'll make it much easier to find this game and any other games that you might be interested in that we've covered that feature the Knights. Same thing for the Fargo North Spartans. You click on Fargo North, it'll filter out all the games that do not feature the Spartans. So that's how you work that. Thanks so much for watching. Once again, your final scores in Game 1. It was Fargo North over Grand Forks Central, 5-1. And in game number 2, it was Grand Forks Central with a big first 4 innings there. That led them to an eventual win, a 19-12 in game number 2. Thanks so much for watching. Tomorrow's broadcast against West Fargo, it might be a delayed broadcast. We'll have to check our data limits and see where we're at for the video streaming. So if it's not live, we will have it delayed for you. That much I can guarantee you for sure. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon here on the Andy Sports Channel. Have a great night and enjoy your upcoming weekend as well.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the ND Sports Channel. Did you miss any of the game? Check out Game Rewind on our website at ndsportschannel.com.